HarperCollins presents Silence is a Sense by Layla Alammar, read by Lara Sawahla. Chapter 1. No Lights Man. East Tower, 3rd floor. Flat 2 hardly ever turns on the lights, especially come summer when the sun lingers in the sky and daylight is a lazy loiterer, barely giving way to night before it's back. He changes his clothes, drinks his soft drinks and ciders, and melts cheese on toast, all without the lights on. He watches the rain, watches television, labours over large and small pads of paper, masturbates beneath navy and grey sheets. He talks on the phone, puts away his crisps and pot noodles, does the washing up, all in the diffuse evenings of summer. He doesn't speak to me. Has never even tried. Not when we overlap in the laundry room down the block that everyone in the estate uses. Not at the corner shop. Not at the cafe where he gets iced coffee drinks and outrageously priced salad bowls, and I salivate over the homemade ice cream without ever buying any. He'll give half a smile and nod from the window, shirtless or brazenly naked, scratching himself awake in the morning. But he doesn't speak, barely even looks. I like that he doesn't speak to me. It's safer that way. He fusses around his flat for hours at a time, burning off what seems to me to be a manic kind of energy. His room isn't messy, but it is lived in, with clothes and shoes and towels strewn about and the bed hardly ever made. I never make my bed either. So, I don't judge him for this. He moves things around a lot, taking a bag from one cupboard and putting it in another, moving furniture around in overlapping patterns, shifting shoeboxes from one room to the other, like he's always in the process of moving in or moving out. Unsettled as though he can never get the shape of his world quite right. He'll line items up beside the door, only to move them back into the bedroom a few days later. There's a box under his bed, large and brown. He pulls it out once a day. Sitting on the floor, he drags it towards him, lifts the lid, rummages around for a bit. He pulls items out and returns them, then pushes it back in place. I don't know what's in the box. At times, I amuse myself with guesses. His narrow back and bony shoulders are all I ever see. So sometimes I imagine there's makeup in there, and he's doing up his face in secret. I imagine thick black liner around his eyes, and shimmery shadow on the lids, the ruby red lips and cheeks, and him admiring himself in a small handheld mirror that I can't see. Sometimes I think perhaps it contains mementos from past relationships, cinema and concert ticket stubs, bottles of perfume left behind that he spritzes on the inside of his wrist so he can smell like her all day. Or maybe a t-shirt or a pair of knickers that he might sniff in the quiet of a late night. Sometimes I think maybe it's a beloved pet, stuffed and secreted in the box, so he never has to let it go. I have fun with it, but the truth is, I just don't know. I have a box too, in my head. It's where I keep the things that are too much, the things that don't make sense. Images and sounds and smells and textures languish in boxes, stuffed and secreted, stacked up in a room in my mind. They fill the corners, rise higher and higher, box over box, to the ceiling. At times, the room bulges and heaves like a belly in labour. Sharp edges poke at my mind. It's hardly ever quiet in there. In the living room, there's an old battered trunk he uses as a coffee table. This is where he rolls joints, pulling green fluff from a plastic bag and mixing in tobacco from a large envelope. He lines the mixture up carefully in the fold of paper, rolling and rolling, then licking to seal and pinching up the end. He smokes on the balcony, legs dangling through the cold steel and iron bars. He watches the sky or the stars, Or perhaps the people in my taxi.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?